CCR TV, channel of God's love. A warm welcome to all our viewers on this episode of Goenche Tarvotti. आमच्या तारवोटी भावांक भेटयलोले एक खास कार्यावळींत गोंयच्या तारवोट्यांची आनी तांच्या वावराची लागशिल्ल्यान आमी तुमकां वळख करून दिता. तारवोट्यांचें जिवीत तितलें सोंपें न्हय जशें आमी समजता. आयज आमी तुमचे मुखार हाडटा दोग गोंयचे तारवोटी भाव जे वेवसायान संगीतकार आनी दोगूय क्रूज लायनीचेर सर्वीस करतात. ते जावन आसात उतोर्दा गांवचे कीथ आंताव आनी दुसरे म्हणल्यार कुर्तोरी गांवचे जोएल फेर्नांडीस. तुमकां आमचो माय मोगाचो येवकार आमच्या स्टुडियोन कीथ आनी जोएल.
थँक यू.
बरें दिसलें दोग तारवोटी गोंयचे तारवोटी जे क्रूज लायनीचेरूच नोकरी करतात आयज आमच्या स्टुडियोन आसत. I would rather begin with asking you, Keith and Joel, to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Okay. My name is Keith Antao. I'm from Utorda. I grew up playing music in the church, in the choir, and in my family nobody plays a musical instrument, but we all sing. So that's how I developed interest in music. I studied in Father Agnel's in Ashram, and then I went to Pune for my engineering studies, and then I studied in Chennai for a couple of years, and after that I got an opportunity to play on cruise ships, and it's been about 14-15 years now that I've been on cruise ships, performing as a singer and musician.
I see.
Yeah.
So you went down to Chennai also to do your further studies. Was it in some sound engineering or something like that?
Yeah, it was in sound engineering.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Because I understand there's an institute well known for this.
Yeah, School of Audio Engineering.
Audio engineering.
Yeah, so
what about you, Joel? How did all this begin? Please introduce yourself to us.
Yes, so my name is Joel Fernandes. I was born and brought up in a beautiful village of Kurtori. And I studied at Loyola High School, Margao, and St. Alex Higher Secondary, Kurtori. I work as an entertainer on cruise ships. Worked for several different companies as a piano entertainer and performing as a duo as well. It's a two-piece band, and also people might also know me as a music producer. I produce music, arrange music for different Konkani songs on YouTube channels, and that's it about me.
Okay, not many people know that on the cruise ship there are also professional opportunities like this for musicians. Am I right?
we ourselves did not know. So we are
coming to that part a little later. Let's not rush. There are a lot of things that we want to bring out from you,
yes.
Keith and Joel. But actually speaking, your musical journey, did you go through a music school where you learned solfeggio and all?
Yeah, actually in my village there was this beautiful violin teacher. He used to play in the church. I mean, Mistri.
Martin
Doral.
Oh,
well
known Mistri.
I love Martin
the
Doral.
most experienced guy.
Yeah. So I studied.
I have had a lot of touch with him.
Really? Wow. We got to talk about this.
Yes.
So I studied under Martin Doral for several years. I started with solfeggio, and he was known to have a terrible temper. So
yes.
So after the first lesson itself, I almost gave up. But then he was also very encouraging, and he would see talent in people. So,
yes.
So he encouraged me and motivated me. So that's how I started learning solfeggio, and eventually started with violin. So violin was my first instrument. He made sure I answered some grades as well. So I answered 5 grades in violin. And after that, it was all self-learning. After that, it's a process.
But now, what is the actual instrument do you play? Do you play violin or what is keyboards?
Onboard cruise ships, I play the guitar and I sing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joel, what about you? Did you actually go through a formal training of music, as Keith has said?
A little bit.
You are a self-taught musician?
Both. So what happened was in my early childhood, my dad was a musician, so music was in the family. He used to play the saxophone.
What's his name, by the way?
Agnello Fernandes
Okay.
from Kuttori. Yeah, we lost him. I lost him at a very young age, and soon after that, I was showing interest in music. I had a lot of ability. My mom could see that I could sing in different voices and wanted to be part of the church choirs and things like that. So my mom said, okay, it's all music shink
Okay.
after daddy. So,
So encouragement came from your mom.
encouragement came from mom, and I was showing a lot of interest as well. So Kurtori ek Mestri Bolek, so we started over there at music classes, and in an old age home he was staying. He's named as Babit. I don't know his real name, but
Okay.
he was known as Babit. I used to call
Babit
him.
is a pet name
Yeah.
in Goa, you know.
Yeah, so I used to call him Mestri. And I started there with solfeggio. First I started with solfeggio, no instrument at all, and later on took up with violin. Met a lot of people who were actually very helpful in my musical journey, and playing at a church, singing at the church choirs also was very helpful. I would say every parish priest and assistant parish priest that was posted in Kurtori, they motivated a lot. Then there was another person who was very important, was Victor Da Costa, musician. He's a violinist. So I sang in his choir for nearly 9 years.
I
So and got to learn a lot, experience a lot of music. And that was the journey, you know. So I later on I started learning keyboards, and I was playing the saxophone as well. That was like more of
Saxophone
self-taught. Yeah, that
also.
was more of self-taught.
Okay.
And started to play in schools, different gatherings, you know. And then later on met Keith, performed at. We love to play together, so it just started from there
And then you all combined.
combined together.
I think for both of you guys, I think playing in the church choir was a kind of a confidence building exercise, right?
Definitely.
Am I right?
Definitely. Yeah.
पूण म्हाका एक सांगात, गोंयांत म्युजीक फिल्डान इतले ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी आसतना गोंयांत तर तूं जाणा म्युजीक एक म्युजिशियन केन्नाच बेकार उरचो ना आनी तो नोकरीन आसतना इज ऑलवेज गॉट एंगेजमेंट समवेर ऑर दी अदर. तुमकां तारवारूच म्युजिशियन म्हूण वचपाक कशें मनान तुमच्या हें आयलें, स्फूर्ती आयली?
Like I told you before, I never thought I would be a musician. But when I came to know that being a cruise ship musician, you get to travel to places like Germany, Europe. You'll be in Europe, you'll be in the States, you'll go to Alaska. I never dreamt that I would be in Alaska someday. So that was very enticing for me. Alaska or Europe. So I cannot change that. So that was one of the major factors for me to try and go abroad and pursue music. And also you have a lot of time on cruise. I had heard from other musicians that you get a lot of time on cruise ships where you can hone your skills and get better. You get to meet different people. You get to play with other musicians. So that was what really motivated me.
And what about you, Joel? How did it happen to you? गोंयांत आतां तूं इतले म्हणटा हांगा वाजयतालो थंय वाजयतालो मागीर तूं सॅक्सोफोनूय घेतलोय, सो मल्टिपल इन्स्ट्रुमेंट स्कील यू हॅड. तारवाचीच वचोन थिंगासो जॉब घेवपा जाय म्हण तुका कशें हें जालें?
सो आतां शिपाचें काम करता जाल्यार म्हाका नियरली 15 years अशी जाती.
हय.
15 years. Way back, musicians were doing well, but not so great as they are doing now. आतां आनी जितलें वाडलो हा मार्केटींग, जायते म्युजिशियन जायते मुखार पावले हा. सो म्युजिशियन जावपाची सदां एक उमेद आसली, बट घरा कोसा एक हें मेवताली सेयींग, बाबा you do something and music will be your hobby.
Yeah.
And that we always thought of, like musician. I wanted to be musician, but at the same time, hobby koshi. So I wanted to take music seriously, and so that I have one job that I'm going to make that as my living, So at those days, not many opportunities hui astale perform korpak. Thode places ache vastale, mostly at the resorts. So and you need to be really good to to be into that business. So we were kind of working on everything, building our repertoire, and even contacts. You need contacts, 17 years back, I was a kid.
Correct.
And so just upcoming, I would say,
Right.
like those days. So somehow I thought of joining cruise ship because there was an opportunity that came across, but it did not happen. The opportunity really, one of I don't know who exactly called me. Maybe it would be Romy Quadros, or musician, saxophonist, or Sir Rock Lazarus. So one of them called me and said, Joel, there are some opportunities coming up on cruise ships to work as a musician. There is an interview held. So I said, okay, let's give it a try. So I went there. Interview was held. They told us everyone got selected. All the top musicians of Goa were there for that interview. And I was one of them. It was held midnight, somewhere during Christmas days, And so I went there. They said all of us were selected, and then they asked for some money to join. That is like the processing fees and things like that. And everyone said backed out from it. And they were not interested because money was involved, and it was not.
Was it a big sum?
No, it was not a big sum. But I said, let me give it a try. That thing started the main thing, like at least I got a musician jobs. At least they are offering Indians, like there is the musician job. After that, I went to different agencies, and also like hiring agencies, regular cruise ship seafarers, they hire seafarers. So I went to them and I said, hi, I'm a musician, and I went with my CV and I want to get a job. They said, no jobs are available for musicians in entertainment position. So they were offering only for waiters and housekeeping and galley. And I thought that was it, but that gave me the start to look out for a job for a musician. And I came across a friend of mine who had some contacts, and so he told me there's an offer, and so agency is hiring musicians, so you can go and submit your CV over there and give it a try. So we started with a river cruising company in sailing in Europe.
Okay.
And that was the start.
So that was the river cruising company.
River cruising company.
Only cruises on the rivers.
Yes, it was like a
not
private.
In the high seas. And
no, not at the high seas. Yeah. So first I began with that. It was a solo act. I was the only musician on board.
I see.
It was
and
like
you had to entertain the guests.
Yes.
So you can say it was a small beginning for you, actually speaking, isn't it? Before you moved on to the big ocean liners.
Yes. And that was needed, actually.
What about you, Joel? In your case, how did this all start? How did you get yourself on board the ship as a musician?
So I remember distinctly, I was, after Chennai, after I studied in Chennai, I had taken up a job in a call center in Mumbai for a couple of months. And as I did not enjoy that job. So I was on my way from Goa to Mumbai, and then Joel called me. Like he said, he was the only musician on the river cruises first. So he gave me a call. He said, man, Keith, there is an opportunity for a guitar player and a singer on river cruises. I said, where is it? Mandovi is where he's man, in Europe. And when he said Europe, I was like, oh.
You jumped at it?
Yes, I could. I wouldn't want to miss it. So he said, no, it'll be in Europe. And I was excited. I said, yeah, this was an amazing opportunity. So I said, yeah, let's do it. And I think the process was pretty fast. In a couple of months, the processing was done, and we got on the river cruises.
Okay.
To add to it, he was actually crowned the Voice of Goa 2008. No?
Yeah, in 2008.
2008.
So experience.
And after that, he was working in a call center. And I was already on cruise ship that time, so I had called him, Keith, what are you doing? I'm working for a call center. Man, you are a voice of Goa. Come on, you deserve such opportunities. And that's how he got into it.
If it wasn't for his motivation,
Voice of Goa was a big title.
Big title.
And that helped you perhaps.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, tell
Again,
me
I have,
something. How exciting is it to be a musician on board a cruise liner now that you are on a normal cruise liner, a big one, and just not river cruises? How exciting is this profession of a musician on board the ship? Because Goans, as far as Goans are concerned, they know that there are a lot of job opportunities, but in various other sections.
Yeah.
Nobody speaks much about Goan musician on board, who
Yeah.
are serving there. So
Yeah.
tell us, tell our viewers, how exciting is this and what are the challenges you face?
It is amazing being on the cruise ship as a musician. It is a dream job for a musician actually. You get to travel for free. You get to meet different people. See, growing up, we always, as a musician, you always want to play with other musicians and get better and get different experiences. So on the cruise ship, there are musicians from all over the world. There's about 65 nationalities on board. So you get to play with different musicians. You get to travel. People always jam together. So it's fun. And the challenges that we face are this. I personally, I feel there's no real challenges. Basically, you have to practice. If you've honed your skills over the years, it becomes second nature. The job is very easy. If you've honed your skills over the years, you just go and do your thing and people enjoy it. If you're having fun, people will definitely have fun as well.
What are your views on this? How is it exciting? Are you excited as a musician on board the ship?
It's a dream
Rather
job.
than being at home and playing in a choir, maybe playing a one-man band for a birthday party or for a hotel, for restaurant, evening out.
Yes. So as I've said, I wanted to take music seriously, very seriously.
Yeah, now you're taking
Wanted
it
to-
seriously,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes.
Huh? So how exciting is it for you as a musician on board a cruise liner?
Yes. So when I got this job, are you asking me like? Okay, I'll give an answer. So it is very exciting. It's like a dream come true for me because
Okay.
this is what I wanted to do. Always what I wanted
I
to
see.
do.
So you have finally got it.
I got it. I achieved it.
So you find it exciting day after day, day after day?
Yeah, because every cruise is different. You get people, different. The guest, I mean, every
Mm-mm.
cruises are different. So you get to meet a lot of different people, different even very popular artists also travel on cruise ships. So musicians, and you get to meet them, perform for them. And the satisfaction that the guest get, you get satisfaction when the guest enjoy the music and the applause, the cheers, and like.
So
It's a
when
different
you
feeling.
talk about guests, I was coming to that question, Keith and Joel. See, there are guests with different mindset maybe. They may be selective, they may be choosy as far as the music is concerned. Do they really appreciate your music and show it by their expression like that? Do they express their happiness?
Definitely.
What has been your experience as far as the guest satisfaction is concerned?
Oh, definitely. There are so many experiences. I remember one time we were playing at the lobby. There was this person who could barely walk, and he was in a wheelchair. And we were playing a song. It must have meant something to him. So he stood up and he was dancing. He was applauding. There's an elderly couple who danced to one of the love songs that we played. I cannot recollect now which love song it was. So these songs mean a lot to people, and it is not like we're trying to. We are doing this music to please people. This is the music that we grew up listening to. We both enjoy playing jazz, blues, and all of these oldies, country. So
Okay.
it's just we are all over the spectrum. We just play a mix of everything, and people enjoy this music. We don't have to try hard.
Tell me something, Joel.
Yes.
Now, since on a cruise ship, there will be guests from different nationalities, am I right?
Yes.
How difficult is it to play? Maybe you may be playing a good number of English songs and maybe some instrumentals. Anytime do you mix our Goan music? Have you introduced Goan music to your guests? There are so lovely Goan melodies, whether it is mandos or normal songs and all.
Okay.
Have you anytime attempted to do this?
Yes.
Or you are afraid that your guests may reject this music?
Not at all.
What
not
is it?
Not at all.
Be very honest and let us know.
Yeah. So what happens? We mostly sail in US. So
Okay.
so that means we do a lot of English songs, and the challenges what comes is when you sail, especially out of Miami. There are a lot of Spanish guests, and they request for Spanish songs. obviously. And since my last name is Fernandes, so they think I am
Yes, you
I'm
have a
Spanish,
touch.
you know. So they come to me and there's Joel Fernandes, so we're going to get some Spanish music with him, you know. And then they get a little bit disappointed because I don't play that many Spanish songs. I do a few because I need to cater all kind of clientele, you know. So that is one of the challenges. And when it comes to Konkani songs, yes, there are some Goans who have been settled abroad in US. So when they come on cruises.
Okay.
So the moment they read our name, they know that we are from Goa.
I see.
And they come to us, Baba Goenche, you are from which place? And mostly we meet people from the north side. So then we played some popular mandos that they, you know, remember. Tamde Rosa in
We've also played for the
Kalangut.
crew several times. We've got so many friends. So there's a very sort of, there's only 2 musicians on board. So a lot of our friends, when we are performing, they would always drop by.
Yeah, they have a lot of expectation that he's going to play a Hindi song or he's going to play a Goan song. And so this is while on duty, okay, not in the crew area or anything like that. So we announced this is for a dear crew who's working very hard, and you know, like we announced, and this a very popular song. So we announce and we play whatever. If sometimes they request, sometimes we play just.
Tell me something. He just said sometimes when we are selling on the US circuit, he said there are some Goans who have settled there and they do come on cruise.
Yes.
What is the feeling like when you meet these Goans on the cruise and you sing for them a Goan melody, they come and appreciate it and, you know, admire your talent for that? How is the feeling like?
For me, they are just like my regular guest for me. But for them, being a Goan performer, you know,
Something
like
special.
for them it is something special. And that too, that we do a Konkani song for them, and not just one, just couple of, you know, and every night whenever they come, and they come more often to our pub or bar wherever we perform.
Perform.
They follow us all around the ship, and then it is nice feeling that they follow us and, you know, write a nice comment about our music. And
I want to hear from you, since you have already had a musical stint in Goa before joining the cruise ship. How different is it to perform on board the ship, on a cruise ship, and how different is it to perform on land back home in Goa? I would like to hear from you, Keith.
I feel the appreciation over there was, I mean, there's appreciation over here as well. I enjoy playing in Goa very much. But on the cruise ship, it is a music that I enjoy doing. You can play country. I love jazz and blues. So people over there, this is an American style of music. So people over there are more inclined, and they are more appreciative towards this style of music. So I enjoy that. I definitely prefer.
What do you have to say, Joel, when it comes to this? How do you feel the difference between playing on land back home in Goa and playing on board the ship to a different audience altogether?
It is a different audience actually. Over here, most of the gigs that we do over here are weddings and maybe some restaurant or pub gigs, you know, like that we play. And here you have a different, here you have a kind of sets that we do, you know, like a starting ballroom set, and you're supposed to play like
there's a format.
There's a format kind of thing,
format
and then you have a fast set, and that's it. And that goes on over and over for different wedding because the clientele is different.
On board the ship?
On board there is nothing called as sets. There's no format as such. Or if you feel, you know, like you can just gauge the crowd and you can play. First, on the first day itself, we try out different type of music just to see how the guest is responding to it. You know, like we will play some jazz standards, maybe some country, you know, some rock and roll, some fast music, and see how the guest is responding to it. Or maybe some even ballads and love songs. So based on that, we come to know, okay, this cruise is mostly like country. Sometimes even the way they dress, the way they talk, their accent. You come to know, like, can you play country music?
so to make a long story short, I think you guys first read their body language. Am I right?
Yeah.
Everything contributes.
But tell me something. I want to ask a very specific question. Ami joshe zana ni cruising on kon je etat on the ship. Mostly the seniors, you know, you don't find much younger crowd there. Very rarely.
Okay,
Is it different in the States or is it?
I'll answer that question.
Yeah, whatever. But you answer specifically.
Yeah.
So when there are more of seniors and
Yes.
senior citizens who are coming for the cruise just for relaxation and
Yes.
kind of a thing, how do you satisfy their taste of music? They may be having a altogether different taste for the music for their purpose of relaxation.
Okay.
Cruising is nothing but relaxation and adventure, enjoying the sights. Am I
Yes,
right?
yes.
So how do you cater to their individual taste? Is it a difficult thing?
It's not difficult. It is difficult, but right now it's going on quite smooth for me.
Okay.
First, when we started for a river cruise, and most of the age of the clients were starting from 65 to 99.
That is what.
That was the so when we went there, like we need oldies. So I never heard some of the songs, and always kept myself open for guest requests. So they started to write songs like anything, some march or victory song, and like songs
back
from
to the
1920s and 60s,
40s,
70s,
50s.
whatever. And so we accepted the guest request, and that helped. Actually, that helped. So if you ask me any song from way before, I will be knowing it because I was entertaining that kind of clientele for
yes.
some time. Later, when we went to when we shifted, changed the company to Norwegian, it was more of young as well as old. So we could still use some of the songs, but we had to learn some more songs over there. And just having a repertoire of 100 songs is just not enough.
Not enough.
Not
huh?
enough. Not enough at all. You cannot repeat songs, and you need to have knowledge of wide variety of genres.
So you have to do a lot of homework. What is your experience been in such a situation?
I definitely agree. Initially we used to work extremely hard, like working on requests, or like he said, if there was an elderly clientele for the week, you've got to play more oldies. So we would sit in the room and practice. I remember staying awake late at night. Both of us we would practice in the room, and sometimes even wake up early in the morning and practice together, just trying to learn different styles of music. It always comes in handy, and every cruise ship, the clientele is different. Like at the moment, we have a Disney Cruise Lines. It is more of a family cruise, so we end up
more
doing
of kids,
Okay.
more of Disney songs,
Disney
and
songs.
the movies.
So the entire this repertoire of music has changed once on the Disney cruises.
Yeah, every cruise line is different. So with Carnival, it's more.
Carnival, it was more of a younger guest.
Yeah.
So we had to play more of party music over there.
Correct.
Yeah. So and
So,
Disney. Is different.
Coming back to your duty as musician, how many hours do you actually work as for entertaining people a day?
It is usually.
Is it during lunch hours or evening hours after 6 for supper time?
Sometimes, if it is a day at sea, they would ask us to play in the afternoon at the pool. So you play in the afternoons. Most evenings, it is at most of the days, it is at night. Say from 7 to 12 or from 8 to 12. It is mostly at night, but sometimes they would ask you to play at the pool.
And the other remaining time is all for yourself, am
Yes.
I right?
Yes.
Nobody can come and disturb you that
You
time.
can
It's
practice, or
time.
you can just relax.
Have you guys anytime faced any kind of an embarrassing situation, or while performing as a musician? Let's say a group maybe is requesting something and you are not able to perform it, or your performance has not come up to that level. Has any time a situation like this you faced?
I'll go first. Okay.
Yes, please.
That's the least of our worries about the request. People don't mind; they just want to have a good time. So if you don't know a request, you can always say, "I'll play something else."
Okay.
But for me, the most embarrassing moment would be. There are many. Like together, there was St. Patrick's Day once, and I fumbled and said it was our first or second contract. I fumbled. I said, "Oh, Happy Thanksgiving Day," instead of saying St. Patrick's Day. And this one more time, I turned up to the show without my guitar. I had taken my guitar to restring it in my room. So after the break, I came back to the show. Everybody was waiting there, gave me an applause when I got on stage, and I had the mic. I checked the mic. And I looked for my guitar, and my guitar was in the room. So I had to rush back to my room and...
Quite a big blunder, I should say.
Yeah, people Americans are very understanding. So they were cool about it. They said, it takes a couple of minutes to go to my room.
What
Yeah,
about you, Joel?
Yeah,
Have you
even-
faced any time like this, a situation like this, what your
Not
has
for
faced?
me, not for me. I have not faced any situation like that. But I play at a bar, piano bar. So I'm the only musician, and I have to play the piano and sing. And sometimes after a few drinks, guests, they intend to sing. And sometimes they leave wherever they are sitting, and they try to come and ask me that they want to try the piano and they want to sing.
Yeah.
First they will ask me if they could sing along with me, and then later on they would say, okay, I'm going to sit here because I can't stand, and they're going to ask me to share the piano stool, piano chair. And then I moved a little bit, and then eventually they throw me out of the seat, and I
can understand.
And I don't know how to, I don't want to say anything,
and
but
that's
I just
a guest who's requesting you, so you have to be also courteous.
I have to be. I have to be.
Yeah.
So that's part of the job. So I try to be kind and
Keith, tell me
tackle
something.
the situation.
तुवें म्हाका सुरवातेकूच सांगलेलें going on board the ship is like enjoying yourself, seeing different countries, traveling. How many actually countries have you traveled? How many cities in the world have you seen? And how often do you take shore leave? Your turn will also come. I want certain things from Keith first.
Initially,
he said he loves to travel.
Yeah, we both love to travel. Initially, I used to make a list. Germany, Italy, Spain. And then I realized there's no use of making a list because every day you would wake up in a new country. And especially when you're in Europe, every day you're in a new country.
Short circuit ports there. No?
Yes.
Then
so I stopped making a list of it. And we do get a lot of time. Like I told you, we work only in the evenings.
Correct.
So during the day when we are docked, we always make it a point to go out. I love swimming, I love snorkeling, I love hiking. So there are beautiful hiking spots.
So you have time for all this?
Oh,
when
yeah.
you take a show leave and you go out?
Oh, yes, definitely. We are just like guests on board because, see, if you're in Alaska, there are beautiful hiking spots. It takes about 8 hours to go on that tour.
Okay.
You can do it on your own. You don't have to be on a tour. So you can go hiking, swimming, snorkeling. We've visited so many cathedrals, churches.
I see.
Yes, he makes the best use of it.
Both of us.
I'm the one who who wakes him up and giving all a woot woot woot. We are docked already.
So Nita.
No.
No, Ospa,
Virospa. Yeah. So then he is like, okay, bro, I'm going to go for a swim today. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go and sit at the coffee shop.
तुमचे बोटीचेर कितले गोंयकार आसात आनी दुसऱ्या डिपार्टमेंटांनी जे तुमकां मेवतात सांगातान तुमी बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट करतात कसले तरी फेस्टिवल सेलिब्रेट करतात गोंयचे सायबाचे फेस्ता क्रिसमस आहा न्यू इयर येता carnival time जाता do you all replicate something there as team of Goans?
Yeah, so
म्हाका दिसता जोएल तूं हे आन्सर कर पयलें.
Yeah, so पयले स्टार्ट केल्ले तेन्ना जायते गोवन्स आसताले आतां डिपेंडिंग ऑन शिप टू शिप मातशे लेस जायत वयताय आनी एवरी शिप sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, sometimes there are very few that you can count 3-4 आसताय गोंयकार आनीक in different department and obviously celebrations, feast, today prayer service kottai, litany and birthdays. We have a crew bar, so we celebrate. So we invite guys, let's celebrate. Sometimes we just sit at the room.
Some of them also cook patties.
The
cooks would be in charge of that.
Yeah, cooks will be in charge of that. We are in charge of the music. Entertainment.
So I think y'all don't miss Goa, sir. Do you miss Goa?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we are away from the family for 4 months.
When you get Sorpotel, I don't think any Goan will miss Goa.
That is for special events. That is for special events.
Yeah.
Okay.
But staying away from the family is extremely hard. We definitely miss
Goa.
it.
But I sang, itli वर्षां तुवें तारवार तुजें जिवीत चल्लें as a musician.
Yeah.
Not all can be musicians, am I right? There are so many other professions on board the ship. जाल्यार तुजी एक यादोस्तीक most memorable moment. आता तुवें एक शेअर केलाय तो तूं स्टेजीचेर आयलोय परफॉर्मन्साक रेडी जालोय पूण ऑन परत गिटार ना. Beside that, any other very memorable moment in your life as a seaman, as a seaman musician?
Zaite my first time only from the river cruises. When we went to the big cruise liners, we were in a bus. The first time I think only cruise ships, and I was amazed. I said, man, river cruise only ship were scared, anxious at the same time, but also very happy and satisfied with what I had achieved. The first time we sailed in New York and New Orleans was always a dream for me.
Okay.
So I remember I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning because they said the ship was going to sail into New York slowly. So I woke up at 4:30. I was up on the open deck with a few people. And I made a lot of videos. Watching the Northern Lights was one in Northern Europe.
I see.
That was fantastic. At 3 o'clock in the morning, early in the morning, a lot of crew members were out on the open deck, and we made lovely videos and photos of the Northern Lights in Europe. So,
what do you have to share with us, Joel?
Traveling,
such memorable things.
Sailing
Small
in
incident that has
Alaska.
touched you,
Sailing in Alaska, watching the whales.
What is special about Alaska?
So
the icy continent.
Yeah, glaciers. Sometimes you get to spot a bear and the wildlife.
Polar bear.
Polar bear.
Okay.
आणि मागी आमचे whales. And it's amazing there. It's a different part of the world. You cannot describe it. Like it's something else. And I love to. We have done a couple of contracts in Alaska. So. It has been a different, like other part of the sailing in Caribbean is different. It's like more of other places that you sail.
Now that you are sharing so many things about your job, about your ship, and about the things that you get to do, are you actually happy for having chosen this profession and to be on board the ship as musician?
Oh, I wouldn't have chosen anything else. I mean, being a musician was the ultimate dream for me.
Yeah, being on board the ship, performing on board the ship as a musician.
That's great. It's a
It's
dream.
given you immense satisfaction.
Definitely.
Joel, I think you're smiling.
Yeah, I got to a place where I did not even think that I would get into. And started actually as a solo performer, then performing music with Keith. We got to learn a lot playing together. We always wanted to play music, but much different. So twist galon tinto music ant. So that we achieved, and you need to stand out. You need to stand out with whatever you play. There are a lot of keyboard players, a lot of guitar players. But when you say Keith, okay, so much style jazz and blues, funky.
Okay.
So. To play together was the biggest achievement. And now where I am performing right now, sometimes I myself don't believe like I have to ask myself in this lounge, the entire lounge, like who is the pianist here? Like I'm the pianist here, sometimes like it's like performing on a grand piano. Like I did not take any formal piano lessons as such.
Correct.
But there are people who spend so much of money and come and listen to you every night. The lounge is full, they are applauding, cheering for you, and that is like something else. Like you are doing your job well. I don't need to even think about it. Like look at the reaction and people around you.
It's a great feeling.
It's a great feeling.
People have especially cruised to watch him. They've booked cruises to only watch Joel. They say, oh, is Joel on this cruise? And they've booked cruises like that.
And sometimes when I am off, like Keith is performing in the lobby or different other venue, and I go to watch him, and people are that place is so crowded.
Yeah.
People come to watch him, and I'm like,
and he's the center of attraction.
Yeah, center of attraction. He
on
plays
his
at the
day
lobby.
off, because where else would the people go?
Tell me something. See, we Goans love music. We have some great musicians that our state of Goa has produced. Now, you two being musician on board the cruise liners, and you're really enjoying your job, you're enjoying your profession, and all that comes along with it, all the perks, like seeing the world and things like that.
Yes.
What would be your advice to our young musicians who are in Goa, they're in Goa, and they're performing in their own little way, maybe for a full-scale band or one-man or two-man band, something like that. What would be your advice, and how would you advise them to, take an opportunity to explore their thing to get a job on board the ships, cruise ships?
Okay, I think most of them, most of the musicians, they know that Keith, they know us, and they know that we work on board.
Okay.
So they know there is an option to get
Yes.
into the cruise ship,
Mhm.
and whoever wants to get into this, they always contact Keith or and me and ask for advice. You know how to go about, and we always help them out.
Okay.
So so one of the main this thing like when it comes to hiring, I would say they always look out for live music performers.
I see.
So for musicians who are performing right now, I would say like there's a bigger chance to musicians who are like, my job is like there's no backing music and things like that. I need to strictly play the piano and
Yes.
sing.
Yes.
So they want that kind of a vibe into the lounge, you know. So I would say so most of them, they get in touch with us and look out for their way, you know.
And you advise
we
them
advise
how to
them.
go
We
about it.
advise them.
Yeah, we've always been very open, and like if you want to, there are a lot of opportunities now on cruise ships all over the world if you want to pursue music. So if somebody wants to pursue music, first of all, you got to be dedicated enough. You got to practice every day. You got to put in hours. You got to put in hours of work. Without practice, nothing works. So you got to practice. And now with YouTube, there is no excuse because you have access to the whole world. Everybody is giving you lessons for free. So you can just keep honing your skills over the years, and there are a lot of agencies online
Agencies
who are willing to give you
Yeah.
opportunities if you are good. Because people who hire you are also musicians, so they know if you've put in hard work, if you really deserve to be on board. So if you practice, there's a
Okay,
lot of
Keith
opportunities.
and Joel, now let's come back to your roots back home in Goa. While you are sailing, how long contract do you sign? 4 months, 6 months?
Mine is we are playing as soloists now,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's usually 4 months for
4
me.
months, you too.
Yeah.
Then once you come back home, what do you do? How long are you there in Goa?
For a couple of months.
Couple of months,
Yeah,
meaning
couple
2
of
months,
months.
3
Yeah,
months?
2 months, 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
So
I
depends.
choose to do things little differently
Yeah.
right now. Initially, when I started, it was 11 months contract for me
Okay.
on a river cruise, and later on, as a duo, it was nearly around 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Working with Carnival, it was quite shorter contracts. I choose to work less and do contracts for 2 months, 1 month. The shortest I have done is for 5 days.
I see.
Yeah, so they want entertainment. They have special cruises, and they want 5 days a different band, and then they want to change the band, and they want to get someone else to
So they
entertain
flew
for
you
them.
for just for a 5-day
5
contract.
days, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, so sometimes people wonder, oh, sound test ko nela poratu. Did you perform or did you just
Yeah.
check the sound and you come
Yeah,
back?
it sounds quite amazing. No, just going on board the ship for 5 days.
So like a
finishing
traveling
up, coming
man,
back.
you know.
There was one more time I remember we had gone to Hawaii. It was a 15-day contract. So they said we are looking for musicians for 15 days. So we both decided, man, Hawaii. For the first time we'll go and we will get to explore the place. So it was lovely, the 15 days in Hawaii.
Tell me something, Keith and Joel. When you are back home in Goa for that holiday, as you said, 2 months, 3 months, do you all engage yourself in taking up professional assignments back home in Goa? Maybe a small stint with a hotel or restaurant or something like that, or you just enjoy your holiday? What do you do?
There are opportunities that people always get in touch. But over here, the first preference would be for your family. I've got 2 baby boys now, so I love to be at home, and especially after.
What about you, Keith?
So for me, musicians are always in contact with me. Baba kedo eta. So they know my when I leave the ship, and they already they give up shows for me, like would you be interested to do this gig with me, and so they book me in advance, and I like to perform when I come back home, like do a jam session, and I wouldn't take something that is that is way ahead of like any bookings that is way ahead, because on ship it is like very tricky, especially for me. You get a mail overnight and someone gets
Correct. You
lose
never
their
know
job,
when you may
yeah,
be
and they need you
flying
as a
back.
replacement. So I try not to take any shows because I don't know, I might fly even tonight.
Correct. It is so uncertain.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so I try not to take, but I'm always into music production, and even while in my free time on ship, I make the best use of the time, doing music, producing music.
So Keith and Joel, it appears that you two guys are having a ball of a time
Yes.
on both the cruise
Absolutely.
ships. Am I right?
Yes.
Your smile says it all, Joel. And it's nice of you that you have joined this chat show with the CCR TV channel.
Oh, it was a
And
pleasure. Thanks for having us,
Yeah,
Daniel.
keep on playing music and making people happy wherever you are,
Yes.
in whichever part of the world.
Thank you.
It
so
was
much.
nice having you two guys on the
Thank you,
show
Daniel.
today. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your accepting our invite.
Same.
तर
Thank
ए
you.
जावन आसलेत कित आंताव आणि जोएल फेर्नांडीस दोगूय आमचे गोंयचे तारवोटी जे संगीतकार म्हणून क्रूज शिपाचेर काम करतात. अशें सदमोंक फावना की क्रूज शिपाचेर अमकेच जॉब आसात. ना, आमच्या गोंयच्या संगीतकारांकूय क्रूज शिपाचेर जॉइन जावपाक जायतीच संदी आसा, जशें आमकां कित आनी जोएलान आतांच सांगलां. तर पळयत रावात तुमची आवडीची कार्यावळ गोंयचे तारवोटी आनी तुमचें आवडीचें चॅनल द CCR TV चॅनल. थँक यू.